Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a great lunch. Excuse me. I'm honored to be able to provide this 2022 State of the County update for you. Really wish I was able to be there, but thank goodness for technology, especially in the environment we find ourselves in. I know that the chairman has probably already recognized some of the commissioners who were able to attend. This board certainly has a very challenging job tackling countywide issues and opportunities. I'm honored to be able to give this report on their behalf. Also, want to take a second to recognize members of my staff. Your hard work and dedication make it possible to carry out our mission assignments. I really couldn't do it without you. I want to start by giving you a comparative review of the budget we just passed that'll take effect July 1st, which we call our FY23 budget. This year it's just a little north of $48 million. That's up about 13%, which seems like a lot. Those increases were mainly due to some increases in the public safety sectors, including more firemen, a assumption of EMS operations from the hospital, as well as some additional jailers this year that were needed in the sheriff's department. We've taken that down and given you a functional breakdown of services related to the FY23 budget. Kim McLaughlin's been so kind to put the prior year percentages next to it so that you can see a comparison. Excuse me, but again to note, up from 44% to 50% this year is the public safety sector, which occupies about $24 million, half of that $48 million budget. We always like to try to give you a classification of service of what's mandated, essential, and discretionary. You'll see that out of that 54% or 54% of that $48 million are mandated services. We'll take a look at those in just a second. Excuse me. The essential services occupy about 45% of that budget, and around $100,000, 1% is really discretionary spending by the board. This is a breakdown of those mandated, essential, and discretionary services. You can see that those mandated services, most of which are mandated by law, do occupy 54%. The essential services over there, surprising to some that are not mandated, occupy 45%, but certainly you couldn't get by without them. EMS, fire protection, animal control, mosquito control, roadways and walkways, pretty doggone essential to a growing community. And then again, your listing of the discretionary service sector down below. I want to take a minute, as I always do, and walk you through some projects, some very exciting projects we've got going on. The first that I want to mention is the main fire station, which is under construction now. This is in the area of Miller Park and will house our administrative division as well as main support activities. As I mentioned, it is under construction, and construction is forecast to last 1 year. The other thing we've got under construction that's right next to it is Miller Park renovations. And these lay out off of Highway 84. This is a complete facelift for the Miller Park recreation area. This is underway now. Again, in proximity to the fire station, which is here, and the convenience center location, which is here. This is a snapshot of the sign that's been put in place in readiness for the construction of the fire station. We are prepping the site some now so that we can hold a groundbreaking, and we certainly hope that everybody will get the word out so we can have a good crowd at that groundbreaking opportunity. This is a picture of some of the site work going on at the Miller Park renovation project, and it's been a little slow to come along. Admit to you, a large part to some of these specialized basin boxes, concrete boxes that have to be built, materials and goods and services, as you're aware right now, very difficult to get. So that project is progressing as a lot of that material comes in. I want to mention our new EMS station, which is under construction down at Tradeport West. Thank you, Development Authority, for working with us on land for that. It's located on Highway 17, just down from Coastal EMC. That project is underway, as I mentioned, is projected to be completed in about a year. The old gym at Liberty High School is out for bid right now for complete renovations. You may remember that in an earlier report I mentioned that we had taken some splosh funds and been able to replace the roof structure and some of the windows in order to shore up the inside. Now the rest of that project is out for bid and is actually scheduled to open next week. Look very forward to that. That's going to enhance opportunities for recreational programs on the east end at the complex. We are proceeding with plans for a new health department. Right now, we're examining some sites to host that new facility. All the space programming has been done with health department lead officials. It's going to be about a 30,000 square foot facility. We expect design to be complete by the end of 22, and hopefully before long we'll be able to disclose to you where that new location will be. This is a picture that was taken out front of the new Head Start facility in Riceboro. This facility has been under construction for about a year. The Coastal Georgia Community Action Authority will be the lead agency that is housed there and offers their Head Start opportunities. This project financed with federal and state dollars almost in its entirety. They are trying to schedule a ribbon cutting for this, finalizing some material deliveries now. Hopefully that ribbon cutting will take place during the month of July. We just completed, in fact, today, a final inspection on hangar extension at Midcoast Airport. All of our hangars have been full for some time with a waiting list. In fact, these hangars effective July 1st will already be full also. So we're trying to make some plans in a futuristic look there for further expansion opportunities to be able to accommodate pilot needs. Another project we're working on is expansion of our Liberty County water system. You're aware that we've got a system that's housed at Miller Park that services Bill Carter Road and some of Highway 84, a little bit of Highway 196 East. We were not able to complete some of the leg of that we wanted to when the water system was first awarded with block grant funds. So we've been able to reach out to American Rescue Plan Act funds through the state and been successful in funding that. These two extensions will occur along the Lewis Fraser Road area down towards Riceboro and also west of the Seaboard Coastline Railroad tracks that'll tie into the city of Flemington city limits. This project is in final design and review now and should be bid before the year is complete. I mentioned the American Rescue Plan Act. We were the recipient of some of those federal funds in addition to getting the money from the state for the water extension project. The board has adopted a ARPA, as it's known, budget for other qualifying infrastructure projects. It's also already awarded funds to small business and nonprofits that were adversely affected by COVID-19 and is in the process of taking applications now to fund early learning to nonprofits as part of that plan. I want to touch on transportation real quickly for you. An overall county map here for you to see. I'll start out here with what is our Liberty County Freight Connector project that's been ongoing for some time. Parcel acquisition is underway now and it's about 60% complete, due to wrap up very shortly. Construction is forecast in the FY24 budget, which is about a year away, by Georgia Department of Transportation. We're also looking at a couple of other enhancements to areas that are impacted by this travel route. One of those is the crossroads at Riceboro, for which we've done a preliminary design on a traffic circle at that location and submitted it to GDOT for their review. The other is another traffic circle location where that road ties into Highway 17. GDOT, again, has these under review and is in the process of submitting those for consideration for a federal freight grant that hopefully will get funded to help both of those occur. I'll jump over to the interchange at Midway at I-95. The county's in the process now of finalizing a draft safety enhancement plan that starts basically at Tradeport East and runs all the way to the city limits of Midway. This plan would help provide an avenue for ingress and egress as that corridor continues to grow and is impacted by traffic and development. Very successfully working with the Georgia Department of Transportation, City of Midway, and adjoining property owners to try to bring that plan to fruition. A couple of T-Splosh projects to mention. T-Splosh kicked off this past year. One of those projects ongoing is the E.G. Miles Corridor Study, which is a safety study that basically starts at General Scriven and runs all the way to Airport Road. Looks not only at safety, but looks at projected growth that's going to be on that corridor, and basically takes that into consideration in developing a long-range plan. The other project that is completed design is the sidewalk sector that will run somewhat between Parkers all the way past the Cultural Arts Center out to Liberty High School. This is a safety project that's also being funded with T-Splosh funds. And I've already mentioned the Exit 76 corridor plan. What you see here is a project that was also done with T-Splosh funds, very proud of, and I think the school is too, that we were able to, along with a road enhancement project that Midway and the state were doing that leads to Midway Middle School, we were able to come in with T-Splosh funds and put in sidewalks along that corridor that makes it safe for the kids to travel. And what's coming up? Well, if we hadn't had the special purpose local option sales tax programs that we've had in the past, many, if not all, of your capital improvement infrastructure projects would not have gotten done or would have been done at a very costly expense to local taxpayers. But luckily, we've been able to do that. It's now time to consider, believe it or not, renewal of Splosh 7. The current tax that we have expires March 31st of next year. And in anticipation of that, it is going to be on the November 8th general election ballot. The Chamber's heading marketing efforts again for us on that. They've been successful so much in the past, and we greatly appreciate Leah and her team for all their help and what they do. We've scheduled an official kickoff to the event for a PTP for September 13th, 2022. Keeping in mind that early voting will start October 17th and the general election will be held November 8th. The local governmental bodies right now are finalizing the intergovernmental agreements that are necessary for that, and will be releasing a list of the projects, which will then be available for public review. I do anticipate that we'll be having several sessions of information types out in the county, as well as visiting several civic organizations to help get that word out. I can't stress enough, I guess, as everybody does, just how important the special purpose local option tax is here to us. With the amount of visitors we have here, we desperately need to continue that as part of our infrastructure improvement efforts. I want to talk just a second about youth engagement. That program is something we've had running now for 3 or 4 years. Mr. Joseph Mosley, the Assistant County Administrator, and Mr. Larry Murray head up that program for the Commission. It was something the Commission had that they wanted to do and have been very successful at it. These are the goals of the Youth Engagement Commission. A main one being to provide leadership opportunities for the youth. Also, listening to them and what they need in the community. It has been a very successful program. It's basically broken up into 2 parts. A Liberty County Youth Commission, which stays in engagement all year long, and a Liberty County Summer Youth Employment Program that is ongoing right now. The Youth Commission activities in this past year have held some empowerment workshops. They conducted a Christmas campaign to aid foster children and raised over $3,500, and did conduct a clothing campaign to assist the homeless. This is a couple of shots of the Youth Commission engagement activities during their clothing drive for the foster kids. In the employment program, The goal you see there is to provide youth with those summer employment opportunities while mentoring and teaching them important aspects of blending into the workforce. This year, we recruited and interviewed about 40 students and filled 20 slots with those students. This is a couple of shots from there. Chairman Lovett, in fact, talking to the summer youth as they came in, and then also conducting an important listening session with them. And then a couple of other folks, including Commissioner Frazier, who also talked to the summer youth about entrepreneurship. So what's ahead? Well, I think like many of you, we have some challenges that I like to refer to as opportunities. Y'all are aware that staffing, inflation, and materials availability is affecting not only you and your governmental entities, but also the nation. We do suffer in a lot of staff shortages in critical areas. I say a lot, but several. Areas of CDL licensing, specialized skills such as paramedics, EMTs, firefighters, very tough right now in an environment. Inflation, obviously also a big factor to us in what we try to do in these capital projects, doing the planning, trying to estimate cost, trying to get the materials in to do these projects, and trying to do them in a timely manner. So those are, as I see it, three of the very big challenges that face us. And of course, inflation, materials availability, also just in our general fund operations. Just to give you an example, the ambulance units that we're able to buy for EMS, about, I guess it's been probably 12 months ago now, the last unit we placed on order was running in the neighborhood of about $180,000. We just took our recent bid on the new unit to try to get it in, which by the way, delivery on those chassis, somewhere around 18 to 24 months, and then the box has to be built. But that latest bid that we got on those units was somewhere around $240,000. Just gives you an example of what that inflationary cost is doing, along with materials and equipment availability for us. I want to pause, and the last guy that's going to come up here is our Liberty County EMA Director, Mr. Bob Dodd. He's going to talk to you a little bit about hurricanes and a little bit about what the EMA department has been doing to work with the school board, sheriff's department, and Georgia Emergency Management Agency concerning school safety. But as he comes up and as I close, I want to thank you again for allowing me to provide you with this update. Also want to thank each of you for continuing to be a community leader and for being involved with helping to move the county forward. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime with any questions or concern. And remember, stay Liberty County proud. I hope you have a blessed day.